Hey YouTube, how's it going today? So I wanted to get on today and make a special thank you to YouTube and the people who produce videos and put videos up on YouTube. I saved probably $120, $130 not buying a new DeWalt router. My DeWalt DWP611 router quit working in the middle of a cut. If you watch the grapes in a barrel video for the carving, you'll see my CNC machine shut off in the middle of the time lapse for the roughing carve. Fortunately, I was in the house, I heard something wrong, and I came in and I looked at it, and I was sitting in here when it went wrong so I could stop the machine. I didn't break anything, I didn't break the CNC, I didn't strip the belts or break a bit. I was lucky enough to do a couple of searches, find out what was wrong with my router, and instead of having to buy a brand new router, I learned all I have to do is install a new brush. Actually, two of them. Two new brushes in my CNC machine, or in my router. And those two brushes were $29, I think, or $23, which is a huge savings over having to buy a new router. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have even known to look on YouTube. I wouldn't have even thought to do that. I would have just thrown the router away, bought a new one. Thanks to people like Jimmy DeResta and the Making It podcast and David over at I Like to Make Stuff and Making It. Awesome group of people have encouraged me to not just throw stuff away, to look at what's wrong with it and see if I can fix it. It's been a phenomenal change in my life. So I'm going to do a couple of snapshots, still shots, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to try and do this on video. And I'm not going to do it 4 times so I look like I know what I'm doing. From the videos that I watched, I took the screws out of this already, so I can show you guys what it is. This comes off, and there are little coils here. There's a coil right there, and there's a little chamber that this goes into. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these. I'll take a couple of snapshots as I go along, and I'll come back at when I'm all done and talk about whether that was the problem and see if it runs. If it does, then I save myself $100 and some bucks on a new router, and I spent $22 to fix it, and I learned an amazing new skill set because of free education here on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube people. Thank you, people who have helped me out in getting this fixed. The guy I messaged actually messaged me back and helped me out through some of this process, and I'm going to actually send him an email and see if he'll let me link to his video so you guys can go see the guy who taught me and showed me how to fix it. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple short video clips as I go. This is the one that's still bad. You can see how far in it is, and this is the one I just replaced. You can see how that clip is sticking way out there. That clip is sticking way out, and again, the one that's bad is really far back in there. So I'm 99% sure that I have analyzed this problem correctly thanks to YouTube and this community. The piece that went bad, you can see where it has curved around the motor, that little piece in there, and this is the brand new one, so you can see how much of that has worn away. So you can see that one's kind of curved from being in the motor. That one's flush. I'm sure it'll grind itself away and get that contour in a day or two. Again, I'm not knocking the DeWalt router here. The DeWalt router did its job beautifully and flawlessly, and I couldn't be happier with this DeWalt router. This is normal maintenance stuff on a motor. Brushes go bad. That's why it wasn't that hard to find the parts. I would give a direct shout out to the company that I bought the parts from, but I paid them a ridiculous amount of money to overnight me these parts on Monday. Today is Thursday, and the parts just came. My version of overnight is not 4 days, so I'm not going to knock the company that sent them to me. If you want to know where I got them, you can send me a private message, but I will not publicly knock the company. But it would have been nice if they had called me and said, it's going to be longer, it's going to take us more time to get this to you. But they didn't. They didn't even respond to the emails that I sent them, asking them where the parts were, which is equally as frustrating. Maybe it's because I am a small business owner. Customer service is a big deal for me, so, you know, if you're going to be supplying parts and stuff and you're going to promise next day shipping, you're going to have some unhappy customers. I know if I had done that, I would have been emailing the person and shooting them a discount, giving them back the money that they had paid for rush shipping. This company hasn't refunded my shipping fees. They haven't done any of that stuff. So I am now struggling to get the other one off because I'm sitting here talking to you, trying to talk and work at the same time. Apparently I'm not that skilled today. I'll be back. So I got the shielding back on, guys. I switched the parts out. I have it turned down to 1 because if I did screw something up, let's not throw it right into high gear. Cross your fingers. Right here is me not paying $80 more for a brand new router. Woo! It's alive! It's alive! So guys, right there, 80 bucks. Less than I would have spent on a brand new router. Saved me 120 bucks. Thank you, YouTube. You guys rock. Thank you to all those guys who are out there creating videos, teaching us how to do stuff, teaching us how to make our lives better, how to save money, and how to be cool and be able to do stuff for ourselves. I'm a healthcare worker, guys, by trade. I work right now at a psychiatric facility. I pass meds on 3rd shift. This is so far outside of my skill set to open up an electric motor and change the brushes in it. Like I said, a couple years ago, never would have even fantasized about doing something like this. I would have been either taking it to a shop, throwing it away, and buying a new tool. It's the maker community that's given me the confidence to do it and be able to go watch 3 or 4 other people do it and find out what the problem is. You know, fortunately, I've learned enough to diagnose. Oh, the problem. What was the problem? What did I hear that made me come into the room? My CNC is in the front porch of my house. Yes, my router's in my house. I'm single. Haha. No one cares if I have dust in my house because I'm the one who cleans it up. It started to sound like it was off. Kind of that helicopter woo 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 sound. God, every car guy loves when people come and try to describe the sounds. So this didn't sound right. It almost sounded, if I had to describe it in a way that a tool person might recognize, would be like you have got a bent bit, that kind of whirring bad noise. And what I'm guessing it was one of the brushes had worn down and I was only catching on one brush. Looking back at it now, probably I was just catching one brush and that's what was making that off sound. I came in and I was sitting here watching it run, trying to figure out what was wrong. I thought I had bent the bit. That's honestly what I thought I did, and I was using an 1/8 inch end mill. I've been learning how to switch bits without having limit switches. So I was using, a 1/4 inch. I was using a 1/4 inch end mill to hog out a bunch of material on some of these 3D projects. Without being this close to the machine, I would never have heard it. And I just don't spend my time out in the shop. I don't have enough time to be out there while I'm carving all this stuff. So having it in the house is kind of nice. I can do it at night because I'm a bit of a night owl because I work 3rd shift. So I can turn this on while I'm and run it, and I can come in and check on it. Quite often I'll do a live stream and I'll have the time lapse for you guys set up. I'll have another tripod set up to do a live stream on Busker. which is a really cool app. It's a lot better than Periscope in my opinion. I love the Busker app. And I can turn on my camera in here and video the thing here and show it on the live stream. And then I open up my iPad and I have it charging or whatever room I'm in working, and I can see the machine cutting. So I know if a clamp comes loose, I know if something's gone wrong visually. And by having the machine in the house, even with the door shut, I can hear the tones of the machine. And those of you who have a CNC machine know what I'm talking about. There's a certain sound and a tone to the machine, and you can tell when it's wrong. When something's gone bad, it's pretty distinctive in the sound. I heard the sound go bad, different. And that's when I came in and started paying attention. This is a power tool. I am using power tools during this process. You need to pay attention to power tools when they're running. Even if it's something like this, you can't just walk away from it. You got to pay attention. But thank you guys. So hopefully this will be going up. I'm going into my work cycle here today. So I might shoot this video of the finishing pass tomorrow when I get home. And maybe get this video up this weekend. But this is actually a piece for my dad. So I really want to get it done. My dad, we live out in grape country. So this is a piece for my daddy. Alright guys, have a good day. I'll see you later.